The YouTube is cooked. The country that invented the biggest content platform in the world is now leading in the race of decay of its content. Meanwhile, other countries experiencing huge content improvements in their regions, with higher than ever ads revenues and sponsorships. Initially, when I started the research, I wasn't prepared to what you're about to see. No spoilers, but even my worst expectations were exceeded by 10 times. Today, we're diving to the bottom of the ocean with copy-paste brainwash that surprisingly draws huge amount of attention. Other countries, I'll use Russia as an example, seem to improve their content quality over time. Investment inflow from large media companies and professional advertising campaigns, not just from VPN services, but from major brands of network carriers, travel agencies, and even e-commerce, help to drastically improve the quality of the content. More and more projects use professional equipment and teams. In fact, some of the most popular channels are curated by people from main TV channels. It's like the golden age of cable TV, but on YouTube. At the same time, the English-speaking part of YouTube seems the inflow of all the same bloggers and creators. The YouTube feels like two different planets. The problem is, the US, the platform that started it all, is choking on its own success. The algorithm is like a greedy slot machine, rewarding creators who spam short, loud clickbait. I survived 100 hours without using my brain, or I ate my poo, here's what happened. Or yet another stupid reaction on the reaction that's gone before you blink. The trending page is a hamster wheel of copy-paste content, and it's drowning out the good stuff. Don't get me wrong, there are still plenty of unique creators like Veritasium or CoffeeZilla who still brings the hit, but they're fighting a tidal wave of algorithm-friendly noise. Now, swing over to Russia, where things are wilder. With YouTube's ad cash gone since 2022, for obvious reasons, creators are in survival mode. Huge brands of e-commerce and telecom aren't tossing money at lazy vlogs. They demand quality. So you get an hour documentaries, tons of high-end comedy projects, or even pop signs shot like Hollywood blockbusters. Channels like Topless or Lena Kuka Crew are basically TV 2.0, with average views are close to the total amount of subscriptions on a channel. Just look at these channels. Topless has 6 million views on average, while just having 7.5 million subscribers. Or this comedy channel, which has 10 million views on average while having just 670,000 subscribers. Well, of course, not every Russian video is the masterpiece, and some creators still chase viral crumbs, and sometimes they might go just a little too far. There is one Russian channel in particular, Vlad A4. This guy is the Russian blogger, and he's making all the same empty brain candy for kids. This is one of a kind copy-paste dude in the Russian realm of YouTube, and he realized, why be laughed at in Russia? So he packed his bags and moved to the US. And boom, now he's like a fish in the water, multiplying trash content from all the perspectives. That's not a big deal though, because the kids who are watching this will eventually grow up. This type of content won't interest them anymore, and I bet a big chunk of those kids will shift towards more existential topics like business, psychology, and even philosophy. And I would welcome them with open hands on this channel. But here's what scares me. Despite the largest monetization, the US YouTube content is getting worse. More clickbaits, more empty content, more large channels with low views. The tendency isn't great. Take a look at these top US channels. They're basically identical. They post the same content with the same titles and thumbnails. Dude, this is how digital gulag would look like in my mind. This is so crazy. You just have to understand that people who are watching this trashed brain rot today are going to be doctors and lawyers in 10 to 20 years. I bet the future president is watching this too. And man, I hope he's watching more of the Veritasium than any of these guys. But still, the US holds a strange power. It shapes what the world clicks on next. Often, people find inspiration in the English-speaking YouTube space. They take something from here, remake it to their model and audience, and spread the US freedom over the globe. So even though the trend in the US inclines towards shorter clickbaits, we're still ahead of everyone else as for content creation. Or are we? As I said, in 2022 the monetization in Russia slashed to zero due to sanctions. This is a big hit to creators, but at the same time, this keeps a large amount of same trash content from being created just for the sake of monetizing. More people create content as the hobby and because they just like it. Lots of videos are created to be interesting and entertaining. Don't get me wrong, it's not an ideal world where everyone creates content just because they like creating. People still need money and they have profit on their mind. But because now to get monetized you have to find sponsors or someone who will advertise on your channel, there is the growing requirement for higher quality content. The twist here is that the trends are set by trend makers. We call them influencers because they can influence the opinions of people and change the trends, which means there is the way how everything can be changed. If we want to stay in the lead of the cultural export, we need more than 10 copy-paste YouTube channels. Of course, we have Hollywood and the biggest music industry, but it all can change in the blink of an eye. I truly believe that the US can overcome the creativity crisis and get back on the track of producing high-quality and high-demand content. Despite all the competition and inclusive policies, we will grow. And until then, I'll be your host on this channel. Thanks for watching.